Hello, everyone. Bruce again from Good Mood Diet Plus. Eat right, everybody, but think right too. That's where the plus comes in. Now, I just watch lots of videos and I just do shout outs, and this one isn't really a shout out. It's just basically why the U.S. isn't growing enough food. Geez, any guesses, pupils? Any guesses? You think corporate greed might have something to do with that? Food control might have something to do with that. Yeah. We live in a very bleak world where everything is just like, even our farms are being manipulated, so we have to buy from big factory farms and stuff overseas and ship it all. I don't know. Everybody should have a hydroponic setup, would be my advice. And another piece of advice would be, I forget the name of it, but I don't know if everybody's familiar with Pegasus. That's sort of what this is going to be about. It's sort of the spyware that's within your phones. And me, I don't really care. If NSA wants to see me scratch my balls, go ahead, watch it. I have nothing to hide, in other words, you know what I mean? Do I want, intruders on my phone, taking photographs of me or taking videos of me or listening in on to what I'm saying or how I'm talking to my dog? I don't really care, because I'm not anybody that they should be interested in, other than these videos I'm making about spyware. Yeah, it's a real big thing, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Talk about Big Brother on steroids. Your phone is there's software companies, one of them out of Israel called Pegasus, that a lot of government agencies, police agencies, FBI, CIA, obviously. CIA is probably on the development team or something like that. It's Israel and Israel, United States. They're all, especially when it comes to violence and total anything that's immoral. That's their specialty, right? So, your phone can be hacked at any given time. Like, especially if you're like, they want to know about you or your group, whatever that might be. That might be a sect of society that's comes from South America, for example, or something like that, or Arabs, or it's supposed to be used, understandably, maybe to counteract terrorism. But my feeling about terrorism is that's just a reaction to our terrorism. The United States is not about peace and understanding or anything of the sort. They're the type of government that's going to implement sort of Pegasus in a very national way. Every citizen, especially in this next administration, whatever checks and balances might have been there with Biden's administration, which probably aren't that many, but blatant, we're gonna spy on everybody in this next one, and feel justified about doing so. So the Patriot Act has just exploded with sort of enthusiasm by the underworld societies that sort of intrude on us without us really knowing about it. And so it's happening to journalists across the world right now. There's been assassinations because, you might be talking about something that is not subversive, but something that's probably speaking to power, if you will. And that power is not above, well, eliminates that little problem now, doesn't it? As Schumer said about the CIA back in 2016, a little Freudian slip on his part, Chuck Schumer, where, the CIA, kind of runs this government, or it's part of what runs this government, and it's sort of the strong arm of this government. And yeah, I mean, when Trump was talking about getting rid of the CIA, it's like Schumer said, well, no, they got 6 different ways to take care of that problem. You know, meaning Trump, you better watch out. And Trump knows it. He knows that. He's one bullet away from dying. He almost died recently from a bullet. And that's probably some agency looking the other way. They don't generally, they usually have patsies do whatever the dirty work, or they're extremely good about doing it sort of surreptitiously. So looks like a heart attack or car accident or whatever. They don't just go out and, you know, middle of the street, shoot you, generally speaking. Not above that sort of thing, but yeah. So spyware, my advice, it's kind of like, I think that would be a movement. I think there should be a cohesive movement of the people. And we should do things like, I like to call it the Black Mask movement. I think is what a good name for this sort of everybody getting together. In that, if you put a black mask on, as I will show you, which I did in a previous video. I don't want to wear a mask on every video I was doing, but obviously you all know how to put masks on now, right? We were told we had to. So this makes facial recognition software a lot harder. And if you, I don't have sunglasses, but picture these as being sunglasses. Everything you do to, if you were to do sort of a group, sort of protest, go to a protest or whatever, we have mass surveillance everywhere, especially in cities and stuff. And it could almost be sort of a sign of unity too. But this sort of messes up facial recognition. Just like your phone, you could put these sort of covers over them when you're not using them that can hide, make it so that sort of things like Pegasus can't at least film you, or maybe and keep your phone in a place where you try to minimize your contact with your phone or your laptops or whatever. Or just understand that anything you say and do will be used against you immediately. Do not pass go. So, I was like thinking that there's got to be a movement of the people, and I don't really see, a cohesive thing. So I'm going to be an ideas guy just on a lot of things in regards to just how I think about if the world was to change in a positive way, what has to be done. So I'm going to keep reiterating like what I view as the main thing that could be done by the Black Mask movement, for example, is just a reformulation of government in general, especially as it pertains to how we elect government officials. And I'm a proponent, it's something I just came up with, I haven't really heard of it anywhere, but just do it lottery style. Get money out of it entirely, have citizens, anybody who wants to, do their service to this country can put their name in a little thing, drop it in the big ball that, every periodically pulls the name out of the hat, and then you're, or names I should say, and then you get the phone call. Do you still want to do it or not? And then you can put backups, if you will, if you don't want to do it, or if you do a bad job of it, and next. And just that kind of system, and have 1-term limits, go up the ladder, if you will, if you want to continue your journey up to be Supreme Court justice or something like that, because that's obviously the first group that if you were going to redo this government over, I'm not saying redo the government itself per se. I mean, you could still have a Supreme Court, still have all the Congress people, all the senators, all the, the only thing I would recommend, other than, sort of lottery style thing, which, that has a whole lot of elements to it. That's just a very brief thing. It's just a thing to get the big money, the big super PACs. And I mean, big business is corrupting government. It's running government. It's not about the people. It's about big corporations getting filthy rich and eventually putting us down to the point where we can't revolt. Because it's not revolt like in the sense of bring out your guns. It's revolt in the sense that, hey, let's get rid of the sort of violent infrastructure and corrupt infrastructure using things like Pegasus against us. And that's easier said than done. They're all ingrained in there. Elect a new president doesn't do anything because the two-party choices that we have are all bought and paid for anyways. So we have to eliminate the money. If you're going to redo, it's just like the lottery events prevents that. Makes it way easier. You don't have to look at all the stupid yard signs for, seems like forever now. I mean, Trump signs around here were, since the last election, I mean, they never took them down. And they're still up. They're still up here in New Hampshire. Like, you see Trump signs everywhere. Everybody, he won. I'm glad you're so happy because he's such a great guy. Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. But, yeah, all we can do as sort of more aware people, like I'm more aware than the average person, than my average friend, than my average family member. People don't know what's going on in Palestine. That's what sort of galvanized me to sort of, I can't take that. We can't be committing genocide. My country can't be doing that and just providing all the bombs and technology and jets and intelligence and to mass murder. I mean, that's just forget about it. I'm never going to be on board with that. As an American, I'm totally disgusted with this government and that it just looks the other way. That's both administrations on that. Not just look the other way. They're hand in hand with Israel, which is nothing more than a terrorist, violent, mass murdering machine. And everything that goes along with that, including Pegasus being developed in Israel, which is just nothing but a way for them to eavesdrop into your personal life. Isn't that nice? Thanks, Israel. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's technologies here in the United States that have been developed for the same reasons. And our phones, I talk to my phone all the time. Hey, how's it going? Assuming they have no reason to look at me other than maybe if they see these videos and I'm saying, hey, all our past presidents for the most part for a long period of time are war criminals. CIA's like a death squad. Basically, that's their main function across the world. They don't want to hear that, and I don't blame them. Who wants to be, would you want to be a bank robber and everybody know that you're a bank robber? No, you'd rather be, getting away with it and nobody knowing that you're a bank robber. Well, this is like 1,000 billion trillion times worse, and it's right in our face, and it's operating everything from all your media companies to, that includes, your mainstream stuff, but also internet related stuff. Yeah, you got to be just cautious on everything you hear, everything you see, and be cautious about what you say. Certainly don't keep your phone in your bedroom if you're having consensual relations with somebody you don't want to be eavesdropped on. And then everything, if you say something that's controversial, they'll use that against you somehow or some way. Or they'll also find out who your network of friends are and family are. All these things, and not to mention your personal financial data or anything like that. Forget about that. That's always been compromised by 100 times now. Yeah, so obviously, I'm going to actually buy, say, you can get them on Amazon, where I forget what they're called, where you just put it in a little bag and it keeps it from Wi-Fi being, obviously when it's in there, it's non-usable. You're not going to hear your phone ring or anything like that. So I don't really care about that personally. I'm like I said, I'm the last person that really needs something like that. I'm post to what I'm doing here. If you don't have to eavesdrop to see if you find it controversial. I put it right on Good Mood Diet Plus. You don't need to have security on me. I might be going to the grocery store today if you want to know where I'm going, They can follow your GPS, if you have a GPS thing in your car for tolls or whatever, Easy Pass. So they don't need just your phone to see where you're going. And who knows what they have embedded in your cars if you have a new car to sort of track what's happening with you. Most of us, who cares? I mean, the average citizen doesn't have anything that they're really hiding anyways. So, but they're still going to record you. Don't get me wrong. Every word you say, they're probably recording. Yeah. Guess I'll sing a nice song so they can listen to me all along. Yeah. We live in a world where there's no secrets except by them, as they take your life and dissect it. As they take your life and they inspect it. You decide whether you live or you whatever, how you live. In some cases, like I said, if you're viewed as a dissident here, even in this country, or viewed as, Palestinian terrorist backing person like me, that thinks genocide's a bad idea. No, we like mowing the lawn. It's Israeli's term for wiping out all Palestinians, which aren't viewed as people. They're viewed as animals. Hell, Marco Rubio will tell you they're animals. So that's our new future Secretary of State. So you can only imagine what it must feel like to be a Palestinian with this POS gonna be making decisions. And he's got Spanish roots, which the American sort of influence down South America, Central America is like treachery. Just one example after another. Literally thought CIA going down there, killing anybody that was anti, American corporation. What I mean? So. Yeah, well now they didn't have the tools they have now to sort of monitor you, and trust me, the phone you have and your modem and probably your smart TV and all these things can just eavesdrop on you. So be careful what you say. Anyways, have a nice day. I'm gonna go something, probably make another video at some point. So this one would be more about surveillance. On that note, my sort of game plan is just, I view this as almost like my book now, this is a chapter, and if you ever go onto my site, you'll just see a label for whatever my sort of subject matter for the most part is on that particular video. Like this one would be pertain to Pegasus and spyware, just to make people aware. You could deep dive about that stuff for a very long time. There's a thing on HBO by Ronan Farrow, which is Mia Farrow's son, who's a great reporter, incidentally. And I forget the name of the movie. Surveilled, I think it's called, which, you can deep dive and find out what's really going on by watching somebody like Ronan Farrow, who was, as a journalist, was being attacked by things like Pegasus. He was being tracked. He was being viewed as they don't want reporters to speak to power. In Ronan's case, he's a celebrity's son, so he probably gets a little more, free reign than maybe the average reporter, but he's a good guy to watch. He cares about people, cares about you. He went to Spain, and there was a documentary done over there regarding that whole thing. Which it's right here in America as well, but Spain is right in their face, Caledonia, what have you. So everybody was being surveilled. Everybody was being, whatever. Watch the movie. I'm not going to get into it. So anyways, and that'll lead you to other things if you really want, or if you're interested in knowing what sort of surveillance things are out there that are eavesdrop on you right now. I assume they're eavesdropping on me. I'm surprised that my videos even get uploaded to YouTube, because I'm not towing the line very well, and I don't censor myself at all. So, yeah, incidentally, on me and on my stuff, and I'll end it right here. It's 20 minutes. Welcome to go to my site. I would recommend subscribing if you like my stuff, just so you can go to my channel. You want to hit a like, fine, if it helps the algorithm. I'm never going to take a dime from this. I don't care if I don't expect to have any more than about 6 hits ever. But if it happened that people like what I'm saying or whatever and got somewhat popular, then yeah, I would donate it. I would monetize it, but I would donate to Palestinian causes or animal causes or something. I don't need the money. I'm not trying to do this for financial reasons. I'm trying to do this. What I'm doing right now is just because I have to do something. I can't just sit here and just ignore what's going on. And I feel my best form of action is what I'm doing right now. Because I can talk. I can be a sheep too. All right. You all have fun.